Get ready for a fascinating journey to the past, where time was marked in a completely different way. Oh, history has its surprises.
Curiously, you.
Ever wondered why the new year didn't always start in January? Buckle up, because we're about to uncover the secrets of the ancient Roman calendar in all its glory. Imagine a time when January didn't even exist for the Romans. That's right, it wasn't even on their radar. The winter months didn't even have names until around 7th century BC. But how did they choose the first day of the year then? The answer is astonishing. The Roman calendar was intrinsically linked to agriculture and religious festivities. The months were a mystery with no defined names until January 1st was chosen to mark the start of the new year. And guess who was behind that decision? None other than Janus, the Roman god of time, transitions, and beginnings. This guy really knew his stuff. But before we dive into this incredible tale, let's take a peek at how humans measured time way back over 10,000 years ago. Mesolithic Britain followed the phases of the moon, while the ancient Egyptians favored the sun as their guide. As for the clever Chinese, they combined both elements in a lunisolar calendar, which is still in use today. Now, the real fireworks start with the Roman Republic, where our modern calendar was forged. It's said that Romulus, the one with the wolf and the twin brothers, had a hand in creating it. However, it seems the calendar was a real kaleidoscope influenced by the Babylonians, Etruscans, and ancient Greeks. No monotony here. The original calendar had only 10 months and revolved around agriculture and religious rituals. It started in March, the month of Mars, the god of war. From there, it went all the way to December, the time of harvest in Rome, where the climate was quite temperate. Believe it or not, the Romans even associated each year with the founding date of their city, which they believed was in 753 BC. And here's the real kicker. The year one in ancient Rome was our 753 BC, How about that? Things were quite different back then, my friend. Now, when it comes to naming the months, things get interesting. The first 4 months were dedicated to gods like Juno. The other 6 were a bit less pompous and simply numbered in Latin. September was the 7th month, derived from septem, which means 7. And get this, the winter months were so cold that they didn't even have names. Can you believe it? But those Romans, always restless, decided to change the calendar. In the 7th century BC, during the reign of King Numa Pompilius, they went for a lunar overhaul. And guess what? They came up with 2 new months. January and February were born to tidy up the winter. However, the whole process was not as simple as adding pepper to pasta. The Romans, superstitious as they were, wanted months with odd numbers to bring more luck. Only that February, poor thing, ended up at the end of the year and got a bad reputation for bringing bad luck. Talk about unfair. As if the numbers weren't enough of a mess, the calendar followed only the moon and ignored the sun. The result? The seasons didn't match the calendar, a real confusion. But then enters a hero named Julius Caesar. The guy had the audacity to request a revamped version of the calendar, known as the Julian calendar. This project, created by the astronomer and mathematician Sosigenes of Alexandria, came with a year of 365 days and a leap year every 4 years. The guy was a genius, but he overestimated the duration of the year by about 11 minutes. Nothing to spoil the party, though. Here's the real kicker. Caesar decided that the new year should begin on January 1st. The day when the consuls, the 2 most powerful men in the Republic, took office. That's more like it. But not everything was roses, or rather, fireworks. The Christians, stubborn as they were, didn't adopt the new calendar and celebrated the new year on different days. Why make it easy when we can make it complicated, right? It was only in 1582 that Pope Gregory XIII decided to give this calendar a makeover, creating the Gregorian calendar. He corrected the length of the year to 365.2425 days and aligned the dates with the seasons. Phew, what a relief. And so finally, January 1st firmly established its place as the beginning of the year. Of course, not everyone embraced this change, and even today, some people celebrate Christmas in January. But the truth is, different cultures have their own calendars, with unique festivals, rituals, and holidays like the Jewish New Year and the Chinese New Year, a true feast of traditions. So folks, let's celebrate the new year in January, as tradition dictates, but always with that touch of curiosity to toast to ancient traditions and the enchantment of bygone calendars. And remember, History always holds surprises. All you need to do is unravel its secrets. Until the next journey through time.